What's up, my diggers? I am Grandpa Max Angler, and we are going to play some more Disco. I don't know how long, but at least a couple of hours, I hope. I will definitely need to get a coffee run at some point. But let us go question Classy Amandu with an OU.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
Well, duh. Hotel bill calculations. Looks like she's had an extended stay. Piles of dirty clothes. A woman's. This room has sad written all over it. Reminds you of your own. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels, or anything else interesting, it seems. It's clean of chemical odors too. Just some dried toothpaste on the handle. This toothbrush belongs to someone who doesn't give a damn about her teeth. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
That's quite the collection there.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Necra, opioid antagonist.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. And your chest swells with pride. Look, it's made right here in Revachol by San Baptiste, a proud Revacholian pharmaceutical company with great traditions.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
I also see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. The lieutenant looks toward the door as if he didn't see you pilfer that sweet Preptide. He did, though. He totally did, and now he thinks less of you. Should have kept it sub rosa. Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? Here comes the afterburner. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now.
She made around 4 months of payments for this room. I'm gonna go and try to get the key before I forget.
Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Someone's hid a key in that bush.
Huh?
I need you guys to hand the key to me.
And I need the fatty to get his feet amputated because the smell is killing me. We can't always get what we want.
God damn it, Dennis. You know I can't help it.
Sorry, fucko. These guys won't help you. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. The Hawthorne's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you. Nod to the old man.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
I gotta get a picture of him.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Does anybody know why this key was hanging outside the window, the Union box window?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
I wonder what the door this opens.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door.
It's worth a try.
I love that. Hey guys, could you just scooch over a bit?
You see that the key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. Master Investigator. You just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
It is my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of this world.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
The Jamrock Shuffle. By now, it's clear you like to look inside containers. You like to open doors and see what's behind them. Maybe secrets, maybe juicy containers. Let's be honest, you like all containers. Trash cans, utensil trays, manholes, coat pockets, secret containers left behind by Philippian kings that hold forbidden relics. Okay, you haven't come across one of those yet, but one day... Wait, why is it you're so hell-bent on opening containers? Do you think you'll find the Holy Scepter and the Orb de Montague? Mayhaps. Da. Pinball says Franco-Nigerian. The theme is horses and swords. Pinball's white Dioro. The back glass shows a female figure in mourning. Note, NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window.
Over there, in the corner.
The pinball machine.
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it. Lit. A phrase almost synonymous with the Insulindian pinball scene. Any pinball scene, really.
Yum, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic.
Oh, it's more than just a classic. A must-play. All serious pinballers have attempted a tempo run. The greats, like Gottwald's Knut Schmeling and Jürgen Sternemann. Mesk pinball legend Yara Flavia Yandiroba and Zimsk-born phenom Ludek Smolka have all managed a sub-20-minute run.
Wait, you played it?
A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Let's take a closer look.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the mountain goats, reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
What's with all the goats?
Indeed. Think of them as balls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but
Get your
pretty
pinball
soon
on.
you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease.
Go get him.
Go, go, Fingerboy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
Wait, what kind of guy was he?
The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist.
A racist mountaineer?
An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent.
Technically, the human beings are at the top of the food chain, so...
He also hit his wife and kids. Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man.
That's what they should have turned into a pinball game.
But you seem to be having fun.
I'm pretty good at this.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Natural selection. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something lasts. An ampoule? The last one. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. Lucky goats. The fog looks soft and inviting. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. Hit the pads as fast as you can. Maximum attack. Not even a bullet can get through. The amount of focus it takes to predict when a ball goat is in striking range is staggering, but it can be done. Focus. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death. You're in a perfectly balanced system where neither you nor the pal is able to get the upper hand. This could go on forever.
Damn, it can be done. Just watch.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
Only the tension in his posture betrays his interest. With automation-like precision, you keep the final goat ball in play, reacting to the tiniest stimuli, floating in the flow state. The fog is clearing, and suddenly, the old speaker crackles. Gordy ball is lit.
Huh?
A panel opens up at the top of the playfield, and a new ball charges downhill. It's larger than the goats and matte black. Cornelius spell the white letters running across the equator. So violent is its descent, it immediately knocks the last goat into the abyss, then proceeds to bounce all across the board as if carried by some demonic otherworldly inertia. High score, announce the speakers, and the whole machine lights up. Then the flippers retract, leaving a perfect opening for the gaudy ball to join the goats backstage. Cornelius vanishes, and the machine powers off.
That's amazing.
I think I won.
You didn't just win. No one I know has ever beaten Gordy's goats. That is a monumental achievement, Detective.
Wait, but what about Smolka, John Deroba, Sternin, and Schmeling?
Those are professional tempo runners. They're paid 4 figures per game. I meant normal human beings.
Who's the king of pinball, Kim?
Congratulations, Your Highness. That was really impressive. The machine needs a good service before anyone else can even attempt it again. Yes. Good times.
Once again, the machine becomes one with the dust and the darkness. Life has left it, unlikely to ever return. Call the Mama Dakwa. It's not only your eardrums that register sound anymore. Your very skin has become an organ of hearing. Looking for a whisper, light and low. A god who's very, very silent. Nothing escapes you. A cockroach in the other room. A candy wrapper falling on dry grass. A drunk falling from a chair in a bar 20 meters away. In fact, you haven't heard the Col du Mama Dakwa, but you have discovered that you have amazing hearing. It must be the only part of you the alcohol hasn't drowned out. Keep listening, the Jamrock Shuffle. In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called Le Royaume, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows, maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours. All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
And your finger across the dust of the white Diora machine.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's white Diora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and Advesperaskit. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually. The lieutenant grimaces looking at the machines.
Well, if we fire one of these bad boys up and play some ball.
You can't fire them. They're broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
What about the other one, the Franco-Nigerian ball? Want to play that?
No.
Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi.
Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
You're Kim. Hey, Kimball!
What?
You're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
So now he remembers. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
Wait, but I still can't remember anything else.
Wonderful. He only remembers hearing about the pinball policeman.
You don't really seem to like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastic, science-fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame.
Why are you called Pinball?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
How did you...
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story.
You were a juvie cop for 15 years?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
Wait, so that's why you didn't talk to Kuno.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi to me.
Not only to you, I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi to everyone. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
I would call him Kimball, but I don't want to.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads, Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
It says last maintenance was in 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
88. This elevator was maintained a long time ago.
At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
It appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic.
I wonder what this elevator was used for.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
Boxes of tools and replacement parts. Pinball maker's coat, huh? Empathy and hand-eye coordination. This dusty old coat used to belong to someone named M. Nyreflox. The name is still stitched into the silk lining. It smells like moths and ancient engine parts, but it fits you perfectly. A strange, lonely emotion fills you when you tighten the belt around your waist. Pinball machine has been taken apart and
So
gutted.
this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball workshop.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the hearties bang away at it.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Could this mean the Whirling and Regs really is part of the Doom commercial area?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells. You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here in the last week or two.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
The Blue Door was a mega investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, which I would say is quite large.
Okay, what does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Let's have a closer look.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom-made or old-fashioned. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is. Of course. Damn.
This looked like one person went back and forth.
Between that and that.
Print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging, Kim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
This doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet.
It's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom.
The door is small but heavy looking. It's barred from the inside.
Unbar the door. First, let's go tell Gart, and then we'll surprise Classy.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those.
So the phone line is dead?
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
Is it true there was foul play?
Who told you that?
Lena.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers.
He's exhausted from years of dealing with the assholes. That's why he's trying so hard not to be one too.
If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill.
Hey, I got into the back room.
Oh, okay, well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Aren't you gonna ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
Pinball machines.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here, too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why, do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
He was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
If you're thinking of selling those pinball machines, I want a fat cut C-suite shit.
Those machines are whirling property. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm not planning to sell them. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here, other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now. Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
There's a peephole in the wall.
What wall?
Upstairs in the secret back room, right next to Classy's bedroom. I found it when I found the pinball machines.
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the Whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
The color has drained from his face. What a shame. To fix such a good peephole.
You've been notified.
Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not.
I have to warn you, I may have discovered the Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
Wait, so you know of the curse?
Everyone knows of it.
The Whirling is adjacent to them, and there's also a pinball workshop. The Whirling wasn't always a hostel.
Obviously it hasn't. Look at the pre-revolutionary tile work. This is an old, proud building. So what if there was a little pinball hall here before? For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost...
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the Whirling, huh?
Yeah. It's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way. Especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way. Even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
Ah, so you finally admit it.
Yes, your police skills have delivered. I'm sure you'll get a commendation. Maybe even a promotion.
Who owns this place?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
There is an acrimonious note. It's clear he's doing the real work around here.
And who named it Whirling in Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
A song?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
What about all those other cafeterias?
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him.
And the others?
The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the Whirling.
Well, too bad it's all doomed.
Whatever. Was there anything else? Because I need to think about how I'm going to get those pinballs in here. Yes?
Smells smoke. Astra menthol. Look! Dried wildflowers!
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
This is the wildflower you caught, one of a bouquet of muggets you found on the whirling roof. It's shedding its petals quickly in your pocket.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
What is this, Kim?
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Who pinned them? Which side?
The revolutionaries, so the communers and the anarchists. White's their color. But the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the civil war.
Does this flower blossom in early spring?
Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
Is it a coincidence?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
The petals feel dry. Water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the channel that brought wastewater from the silk mills of Gemro, and then dead bodies during the war. The wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the stream like white salt. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers.
Old coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. Here we go.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean, then toned over several years of self-defense training. You can sense it in the sharp pointing of her elbows.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you got here.
It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her eyes. The same sadness? Yes, from back in the hallway when she first told you about the hanging. In the hallway.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
It has.
They also say it's why the cleaning lady quit.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
This does not come as good news to him.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few. Oh yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
It's gotten pretty hard in the meantime, but I go on.
I can see that. I'm glad all this onward going has brought you to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult. No need to dilly-dally. She's tough.
I'll go straight to it. I don't want to sound like I'm namby-pamby.
Good on you, boy. She can take it.
They tell us you were raped.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Actually, it's evening.
Is it? It is evening. Time flies, man.
So were you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted. By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
What kind of partying? The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
No one parties harder than me.
Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14. What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that. And maybe room trashing.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Whoa. After so much drinking and drugs, how did they manage it?
Hold on, after so much drinking and drugs, how?
Untraditionally, officer.
She's cold and strange. I'm not picking anything up here. Your imagination starts whirring, whether you want it to or not.
Were feelings involved?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension? With longing. She misses him.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatre craft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Where were you when this happened?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie.
Titus asked you to spice things up for us?
Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life. Warming up your hands relieves stress and anxiety, makes you feel and appear calmer, more comfortable. Seems she's doing that here, consciously or not.
Are you sure you weren't raped?
I'm 89% sure.
Does that mean you're 11% not sure?
You know how it is.
You do know how it is.
I do.
Sure you do, you disco animal. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
No one deserves to be raped.
I'm sure there is one person in the world who does. I mean, there are so many people. But let me make this clear. The man who was hanged from that tree did not rape me.
The wording, the verbal eye roll. She's almost disgusted with the platitude you served up.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
What did they hang him for if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now.
How'd you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea.
What do you mean?
Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion? Wait a moment.
Add something else before we go. A little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
What is this wild flower?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
Why was it there?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Or an admirer?
Any admirers?
Admirers? I'm too old to be a debutante. And this place is no fashionable society.
Question avoided. Let's conclude that she has admirers. Plenty of them.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
You feel someone behind you. Bed has been hastily made.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced?
The one I smashed in my room?
Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
Stop distracting him! He has work to do! Plus, if I recall, the window has been giving him shit ever since he got here!
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
What were those people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural. They're sensationally unnatural. If your mesolimbic reward pathway were to venture a guess, one of the bottles is probably being put somewhere it doesn't belong. And were your glands to venture another guess, they would add to that another bottle is being put somewhere very close to that. The bottle is a bit smaller, you see. Also, you can literally put speed up your asshole. Did you know? Enters the bloodstream right through the mucous membrane. So yeah, that's definitely also taking place.
Hey, I can see the Classy's bedroom from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions. This window
God damn it. God damn it. There we go. Fuck.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why didn't she tell us all that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
You would have caught it.
I would have caught it.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something's off here.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
It's you again. What is it?
Lassie said she wasn't raped.
Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking
hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists down.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Another apocalyptic actor in town? This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
Where'd you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Actually, there are numerous degrees you can get in signal intelligence.
Yeah, like you have one. Smart ass.
Bear.
So you bugged them, how?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
What you is doing the advanced radio work then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
So what's on the tape?
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner. A door gun is a gun mounted to the door of a transport airship. They have a habit of mowing down civilians.
Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then? Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards. I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
You're here. Just check some shit real quick. Of course. Oh boy. Let's see. I think even though I'd argue adding accessibility options and making a big fucking deal about it would net them more positive PR than making Hephaestus a cripple ever could. I'm out here trying to get actual fucking cripples options so they have access to see the one super giant put in the game as a DEI grab. If you know any, and then this guy says if you knew your mythology, it's actually accurate for Hephaestus to be crippled and it's not just a DEI grab. I said if you read further down, I admit where the wheelchair could be mythologically accurate depending on how you interpret it, but then my issue was that he's a Greek god, fat fucking a chair. As a disabled person and someone who's lost family members to diabetes, some of whom look very similar to him post-amputations, I was personally offended by the depiction. But then I don't really care about art. I can avert my eye and ignore it. What I can't ignore is the lack of accessibility options. Stupid motherfucker. Just want to see something really quick. Ha! Oh boy. The video. There we go. And now I'm gonna get down-duded to oblivion. Son of a bitch! That is a lot. Okay. I'm gonna need to check that when I get done. Son of a fucking bitch! Alright, I'm gonna have to... Fuck, I'm gonna have to deal with that later. But right now, we've got a tape to listen to. Hey, bud. Oh, shit. What's with your buddy? What's with that happy tail? What's with that happy tail? Is Derek home? Oh, was he home? Yes. What? What? Come here. Come here. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Yes. Fuck. Alright.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalsund crane.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
Was that at the very end?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
I agree, he also sounded inebriated.
Still.
There's more going on here than we know.
Who's Cordy?
Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work.
What's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
It's you again. What is it?
So I listened to the rape and I'm gonna confront Classy with it.
Smart boy.
Or tape.
You go do that.
This window.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring. As the porcelain meets the metal table, this does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why'd he say things like that, machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even.
Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Hold on, he said he was mentally done. That sounds like he's a broken man to me.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality.
You like this kind of stuff?
We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink, the last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Where is Lelystad, the place, I mean?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
This means his race was Occidental. which fits the statements of another witness.
Her eyes follow yours on the piece of paper. She doesn't mind this questioning. On the contrary, she enjoys thinking back to him now. This is a sort of wake for her.
How old was he?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Right again, officer.
This feels so just. Like there is righteousness in the world. Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
It's clear she was very much attracted to him, and still is.
Found him attractive?
Of course. He was the most strangely beautiful man I've ever been with. And I mean that. And now, he's dead. A pity.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Interesting. I too have stroked his hair.
Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance.
Kim, I said to put the brilliantine on the form. Do I get a point?
No.
But I put it down there.
Okay, sure. Here you go. What else are we missing, officer?
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
It was an Oranese map of waterways?
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me precisely what they mean?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Good story, thanks.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
Tell me something odd. Did he enjoy his death?
Why do you ask?
Just have her answer the question. Don't give explanations.
Just a feeling I have. Indulge me.
Well, it's wrong. He had too many drinks to down and too many bad things to do. Couldn't tap out just yet.
Everything checks out here. It's all A-OK. Good answer.
No.
Why do you...
Just have her answer the question.
I don't think he enjoyed dying off it.
Everything checks out here.
No.
It's all A-OK.
Could it be that
Good
love?
answer.
Could it be that love did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
He told me love did him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
Perhaps, miss, it was communism that killed him.
A moment ago it was love. And no, I don't think the Union is communist. They're a couple of shades pinker than that. They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say. What are we talking about anyway? This politics shit is a lot in the morning. Is it even morning?
I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you meant by that. And can you blame her?
We ordered a tox report. Any idea what that'll show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
We requested a semen screening from processing.
Good for you.
What do you think it will tell us?
I don't know how a semen sample works, officers. How many days after intercourse does it have to be? I don't even know if he had sex with someone else. We didn't go steady.
Is she avoiding anything? Technically not. See? There's something off here. This one must know she's deploying flares and countermeasures.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
What she said.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old.
Where's this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
I got this. My age, I think I'm...
Yes.
I'm old, a wizened sage who has seen it all across 300 years.
Yeah, but probably not, though. Do you want to know the truth?
Bring it on.
To the laboratorium.
To the laboratorium. Shit. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100, both longer than they ought to be. The day and the century, but for how long then is this thing attached to your sentience walks the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born?
It's you again. What is it?
So I talked to Classy about the tape.
And?
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens. Jaw sets. Ready for another blow.
And nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her. You smell weakness. He's getting tired of the game he's been playing. You caught him off balance. Push, and he will give way.
Pretty much laughed it off, Titus.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
Actually, I think it made her a little nostalgic. If anything, she seemed turned on by the whole door gunning thing.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Right. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump.
You know what I think? Women are crazy, man.
You can say that again, copper. Right here.
Here we go. Bump it hard. Your fist connects with his. Hard. The slam is audible. You can almost hear his bones ring. Your knuckles tingle, life-affirmingly. A flash of pain, like slamming your fist against iron. He is stronger than he looks. And he looks like Vermouth Kazai.
And now you, Bina Claude.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses, then extends his curled fist and taps Titus's bruised knuckles. The bond has been formed. Not bad.
I think this is personal. I think you had feelings for her.
Yeah, they're all queers. Can't bump, hard fist, or anything.
Huh?
That's all right, Glenn. I just thought I thought anyone would come around if they heard that shit. Apparently I was wrong.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
He wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic, or else you might antagonize him.
I just got too worked up. Big man lost his shit. It's cool now.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men, too, are growing increasingly silent. They're confused. This is growing over their heads.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!"
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter, but you know someone who might. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker.
No.
Just remember, it's about more than Claudia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
That's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down. And Martinez, they'll just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
You're a foreigner. Because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the wild north.
They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm, a Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Or what, you're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
Fuck her.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
So whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
What do you mean?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, the drug trafficker, the missing eighth Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Understood. Can you tell me anything about her? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
So then who killed the merc?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
She's got one of those checkered pasts. The shot could have missed. Could have been meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
You had ideas about his past too?
I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
So you didn't kill him, he was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario, only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
That's okay with the fat man still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse, we hanged.
Who's Tibbs?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs? That's short for?
Tiberius?
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's named Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Classy didn't kill him. Why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the Moore Lantern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go...
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She... Clausia came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But...
Still, after all this headache...
But you would still prefer it if we didn't take her away.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
This window is pristine on the inside.
Looks like it. Yeah.
You know which window has not been recently replaced? Whatever it is.
Stop distracting him! He has work to...
Smooth as I, following your lead.
Wonder if she'll still be out there. Nope. Okay, let's play some suzerainty. Actually, can we play We're All?
Large letters on the front.
Nope.
The suzerainty box is
Hey,
the
Kim, wanna
lieutenant
play?
looks over the rule book before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
So he says, but his gaze lingers a moment longer on the rulebook than is strictly necessary. What is detective work if not an elaborate game? You need logical inference, attention to detail, the ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
Come on, it might help us think of more creative solutions to the case.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright, you've convinced me. How do we play?
I read the rules already, I'll show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you. In the center, is the crown of Revachol. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sarah Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress in case you need to put the game away and return to it later. The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
All right, detective. Your turn.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns? Remember what the rulebook said. You'll want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it.
Contracts.
You draw a contract card offering a number of coins in exchange for archaeological treasures. You place all your workers on the Ilmarat territory. On your next turn, you produce 6 units of archaeological treasure and fulfill the contract for a handful of coins.
Not bad, detective.
But not good enough, the lieutenant seems to be saying. As he completes his own contract card, the lieutenant is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
Flowers silently.
The lieutenant returns your baleful look with a satisfied grin. Come on, is that your game face? You're practically broadcasting your position to the lieutenant with that expression. Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. Those aren't your only options. You could also show your workers how much you appreciate them by investing some of that wealth in them.
Ugh.
After all, they're the ones producing wealth for the suzerain. Well, sure, you can do that. It's just not a terribly effective strategy, but then it's up to you.
Contracts.
Who cares about workers or territories when the real action is in Revachol? You spend your turns fulfilling contracts for sweet coins and one-time bonuses. After several turns, you have a neat pile of cardboard coins and several units of archaeological treasure, which you trade in to build a museum. You place a cylindrical piece of wood on the Revachol section in the middle of the board. It's meant to stand in for a beautifully adorned edifice filled with ancient wonders. This is more or less what happened in real life as well. To this day, if Ilmarans want to see their nation's priceless treasures, they have to visit Revachol, or Gottwald, or Sur-le-Clay.
Well played, detective. That museum is worth 3 victory points.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. He moves aggressively onto the Safre territory. Soon, his workers are producing a steady supply of extremely valuable apricots. How can you let the lieutenant dominate you like that? You need to hit back, and hard. For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Sarah Maritza, where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens. You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points. Oh yeah, baby. Cocaine and rock music go together like cocaine and rock music. You know, this isn't unlike the situation the historical Revacholian suzerainty faced in Safre in the middle of the last century.
Tell me more.
Well, the suzerain was looking for new markets for all the cocaine it was producing, and it settled on Safre. By introducing cocaine into Safre under exclusive contract, the suzerain created an extremely valuable captive market for an extremely addictive product.
Brilliant.
If you could somehow get the lieutenant's workers addicted to your cocaine, you could not only make them less productive, you would also force the lieutenant to pay you for your cocaine tokens each turn.
You even do that?
Yes, you can. It's right there in the rules. You've reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
Rock and roll, baby. Go for the contracts.
It takes several turns, but you slowly begin accumulating the cocaine necessary to complete the contract. When you do, it practically rains cardboard coins on your side. Feels good, doesn't it? But you know what would feel even better?
Winning the game?
Drugs, specifically uppers. You should find some the first chance you get. While you daydream about speed, the lieutenant has built himself a formidable economic engine of his own. The end game is upon you. How will you spend the vast resources you've acquired for the glory of the suzerain? Flipping through the manual, you find the most expensive structure in the game, the Revacholian Victory Column, worth 12 victory points. If you can successfully build it, victory would be all but assured. Alternatively, you could try launching a trade war to crush the lieutenant's economy, or you could blow all that money on a public education system for your worker tokens. The choice is yours.
For almighty Revachol.
Using the substantial coins and resources you've accumulated from diligently fulfilling contracts and constructing trade routes, you spend your final turns constructing the ultimate structure in the game, the Revacholian Victory Column. With a triumphant flourish, you remove a rectangular token from one of the satchels and place it next to your museum cylinder in the center of the board.
Behold my vast accomplishments.
They're nice tokens, yes. Very impressive. Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication. After double, then triple checking your maths, you have your final score. 35 victory points. The suzerain will be extremely pleased.
I've got 26 points.
Ah!
Looks like you won convincingly. Well played, detective. Now let's clean up and get back to work.
You hold the open game box.
I'm a winner. Yay me. All right.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately. Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
This body's worthless anyway. No one does anything nice to it.
And why might that be the case? What lava lights on such a bloated corpse to be?
I'm an artist and liver damage is my art.
Oh yeah, baby. Frame your suffering as a masterpiece. Only one problem. No one's watching. It's boring, buddy. Boring as death. You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Human beings will always betray you.
How many promises have you kept lately, Sir Harry? To the great see-through world. The tenderness.
Thou art honorable and just, sire. 'Tis the snakes who are vile, hissing in the grass. Women, it's the women. Look out for the women. They're oath breakers.
Whoa, man.
Come now. Humans have earned your trust, and you theirs.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Put on your prettiest face for the masses.
And that's that. I hope you all enjoyed this. I have been Max Angor, and I will be back later for Wednesday. But I won't play this game on actually Wednesday, because I'll be playing Hades 2 on Wednesday.